How you do out there, cousins? It's Rusty, and good night, folks. I just got done in a little thrift store here, and I bought a bunch of stuff. It's the usual suspects, folks. It's some raw specimens of minerals. We'll talk about it. It's some jewelry. Talk about it, and a few other really cool things. Plus, I'm going for the first time today to preview items that are going to be for sale at the estate sale tomorrow. I've never done this before, so I'm going to go in, I'm going to show you around, we're going to see the stuff, then I'm going to do my research, and I'll know exactly what I want to get and where I need to go to find it tomorrow when it opens. Come on with me. No, I'm talking about a Rusty how-to. Rusty how-to. All right, folks, here I go. I'm walking up here. I'm going to try to go in and take a look at some of the stuff here. I'm going to bring you along. We're going to see, are there any good deals? Should I even come out here and stand in line tomorrow to buy anything? I don't know. Let's check it. Tell you what, guys, I made a mistake. I do this once a year. I went and got myself a large, deep-fried, salty, fast food lunch. Doggone it, I have to go to the restroom now. I'm going to have to go straight in and take care of myself first. Got some old trade cards, some postcards. A bunch of costume jewelry here. Some silver. I wonder here. I can't quite tell. Nope. That looks vintage. Not sure. Look at this. Nice silver pieces. Matchbook holders. That's pretty cool. 10 of those. This old box here. First day covers. These are first day covers. Wow. My goodness. Is this all Kennedy stuff? Wow, all these old newspapers. My goodness, here's a stamp album. 1939. Not too old. And what do we have here? Interesting marks. Wonder what this says here. Peter tankards. You know what? Let's break this up a little bit. Let me start showing you some of the stuff I bought today. We'll talk about that, and then we'll bounce back and forth. That's more fun. All right, folks, take a look at some of this stuff that I picked up today at a couple of different thrift stores. It is mostly jewelry, as you can see, but we got a couple of other little items in here we're going to talk about in just a moment. I'm going to be using a loop. And guys, if you're out looking for anything with jewelry particularly, or other things that you think you might need to look up close, please make sure, and I've said this before, but bring a loupe. I have pulled a few of mine out here so you can just see what I'm talking about. You can buy ones that just sit on a tabletop like this, or like this smaller one like that. Those are real easy. They just sort of sit there. You've got ones that can have a couple of different sizes and a couple of different magnifications. This particular one, as you can see, you can turn on a light and it helps you as you're looking at stuff, just like that. You can see, so that's handy, especially if you're working in a not so bright area. But then you've got other ones, guys, kind of like this. This is a very cheap one. You can buy this off Amazon for basically nothing. Here's one with 3 different magnifications here as well. Got these handy little thumb deals here. You can pull it up. Or here's a here's kind of a vintage one. Was made in Japan. This is quite nice. This is a 20 times magnification. Get up to that. If you ever see loupes out, buy them up, guys. As long as they're reasonably priced, because obviously you can use it within your work. But then also the old ones, especially the ones that are made of metal that are nicer and heavier duty, can actually bring a pretty good value. Let's get into it. We have this. It is a vintage change holder that would clip onto a belt. If you've ever been to a Sonic or an old restaurant drive-up where you had the car hops, as they called them, this thing will clip on their belt. You drop the coins in here, quarters, nickels, and dimes, it looks like, into here, and then, basically this would sit upwards like this. It clips on, and then when you're ready, you click on these levers, and it will pop out the change that you need to give the person back. Very handy. This only cost me $1. I looked online, guys. They're selling for between roughly, like ones like this, between 20 and 30 bucks. So I'll make a good little, some profit on that. $20 for some straight razors. 10 bucks a piece. With a little case. Stereograph. $100 for these. They're all packaged up, it looks like. They're all bundled. Interesting. Definitely Victorian era. Kennedy again. Life magazine, lots of Kennedy stuff here. Some pink depression glass. Nice little ship here. Here we have a little shot glass, guys. Anytime I find an interesting looking shot glass for under $1, I pick it up. 50 cents is great. You can see this has this gold leaf design on the back side. It's actually in really good condition, never been wiped off. This is for Luxembourg. Decent little, definitely used, but not that bad a condition. And it's actually quite old. You can feel the back here where my nail is. That's where the pontil broke off. That's where they connected to it when they were blowing this glass, and then they snap it off. And when you can feel that, it's real rough. It's an indication that it can be quite old. And this isn't terribly old, folks, but it is not brand new. It's several decades old. So anyhow, when you find ones that are interesting, especially ones that have a light white colored etch on them, those could actually be Prohibition or pre-Prohibition era American shot glasses, which can sell for a lot. I was happy to find this for 75 cents. This is what they call a whetstone, folks. And what you use this for, guys, is sharpening blades or little tools. I think I'm going to hand this off to Flo, and she's going to use this to sharpen her gardening tools for pruners and stuff. She does such a great job keeping the area around the warehouse here nice and pretty, with all of her flowers and various stuff. She's got vegetables are growing. It's just wonderful. But 75 cents, this is easy. This will last a long time sharpening those tools and will really help her out. Hinged frog box. Got a nice large draw knife here. $15, that's quite large. What's that brand? I can't tell what the brand is, but quite large. Old lock. It's pretty cool. Some old stuff. $10 for some of these. These are going to be gold frames. I know for a fact. Those have gold in them. That was cool. Milk and magnesia. Old doctor's bag here. That's pretty cool. Look at that old jug. Minolta. Look at this. Quite large. It's beautiful. What about this one? Quite heavy. I'm going to start us off with this next set, guys, just going in order of category of jewelry. What you can see here is a nice kind of a gold tone necklace here. It's got kind of ribbons, as you can see, and then this little pieces in between here. If I fold her up, you can see that the setup here is sort of this dangly portion here in the back. I don't know what you call that exactly. And then this little hook that you can use to hook into this depending on the size of your neck. So it's adjustable. You can put it at different lengths depending on how tight or loose you want, how thick or loose or not thick your neck is. But as you can see, this one's easy to identify. It's got this little tag on it that says Monet. So this is a Monet brand, which is a pretty typical costume jewelry brand. Not one of the higher end ones particularly, but I paid $2 for this. And so something like that I could probably sell for $15 to $20, maybe even more on a good day. So nothing wild here. I'm not gonna make a fortune, but something like that can make a decent little return. Next up, we've got this pretty little bracelet, again gold tone, very bright and brilliant. It has some sort. Let me see if I can get this here. Some sort. I'm gonna be blocking the light there. Let's show it. There it is. It looks like I think I've got it backwards, but it looks like a D if you flipped it around with a lightning bolt through it. I'm not familiar with that designer mark, so I'm going to do some research on that, but it's quite nice. Again, $2. This place that I buy this costume jewelry at, guys, it's always $2 a pop. And so very easy. I love when I find stuff like this. You probably already know by looking at it what I'm going to say. And if you guessed that I was going to say that this is made out of sterling silver, you're absolutely right. You can see right here, we got a nice little etching of kind of like a you know, kind of that little sun almost coming up. And below it, it says 925, guys. That is sterling silver. So you got the other indication here is that on, I believe on this little thing here, you can see it says sterling 925. Super easy. Sterling silver for $2, a nice condition functional bracelet like this will fetch quite a bit more than that. Next up, folks, we're going to look at some earrings. All right, so you can see here, these are nice, kind of gold tone in the back, black plastic on the front. Just to look at them, look fairly elegant, but not like they're super valuable. But then if you take a look here, you can see, and again, let me get my loop, make it a little bit more obvious for you here. And I think I got it upside down, of course. There it is. Trifari. I got a little scratch on that. You see a scratch in that loop? That's a booger. Trifari. This is not what they call a crown trifari, meaning there's no crown above the T in the word trifari, which means that this is a newer iteration, not a real old vintage piece. But things like this, this brand is pretty collectible. I think I'll definitely do well off the $2 I spent. Garden of Allah, Ivanhoe, Alice in Wonderland, Through the Looking Glass. With the Wind, an old copy. I wonder what year. It's too new. It's definitely not the old one. Yeah, it's way too good a condition. Put that back up there. Interesting. Wow, never seen one of those before. A couple more awesome little earrings here that I found. I was excited to find. Is this one right here, this pair. You can see that we got this bluish purplish colored stone in the upper portion. It almost looks black down here, but it is actually the same type of stone, just a different color. I believe that's called lapis, L-A-P-I-S. It's a type of mineral stone that's used in jewelry pretty commonly. You can't quite tell, but there's this very faint imprint right there by my fingernail. In fact, I'm going to point to it with the stem of this other one right about right here. It says 925, guys. So this is sterling silver as well. $2 for this pair of pretty intricately designed earrings with some nice stones in it. These little beads, guys, are made. They've done several around to make it look almost like a flower. That's made by just melting one tiny little piece of metal, of solder, basically filler, and then just dabbing it on there in little balls. This was made, I'm sure, into some sort of a mold, and then they injected it to make this. They don't have the backings on them, but that's not a problem. I'll find some. That's a great investment for $2. And then another one that's awesome. I actually paid up for these guys. I paid $5 for these, and you can't quite tell. Well, you kind of can. Yeah, there you go. You can see that these are amethyst in the middle, and these are little chips of probably crystal or glass. They are not diamonds. It's a gold tone, but guys, on the back here, if I turn it around right like this, and get out my other little loop here so you can see, it says 925 China. Maybe you can see that. Yeah, there we go. 925 China. So this, folks, is sterling silver, even though it's a gold tone. They just mixed it with another alloy to give it that yellow color. And it was manufactured in China. That's not a problem. They're very beautiful. They don't have the backs on them. Well, this one does have one back on it, so I need to find a match one for over here. $2 or $5, guys. I can sell this for probably $25 to $30 to the right buyer. Next up, folks, we've got a few pins and brooches. Again, $2 for this. It's just, I thought it was an interesting design, guys. It's this lizard of some kind. This interesting work on the back here, the colors, the whole scheme of it, I think is quite interesting. And people who like animals and collect things like this would enjoy this. The downside is that it's It's not made of a particularly valuable metal by any means, just an alloy, and I don't see the name of a maker on it. Usually I don't buy much stuff these days unless it has a maker, but because I thought it was interesting enough for $2, I mean, I think I could put this up for $20 and sell it pretty easily. Here's another piece that is kind of breaking the rules that I have, which is that usually to tell the quality of something, there are a few factors. One is, are there prongs holding in, or bezels holding in the stones? And as you can see, there are. All right. Is it interesting? I do think it's an interesting design. You've got the leaves here, you've got the flowers, and you've got a combination of clear stones and then these very, very light, very light green almost, or like a yellowish color, and then a little bit medium green for the leaves. So I think it's interesting composition here. On the back, you can see that the metal is polished quite nice. The thing that's absent though here, folks, is that there's no maker mark on this either. So unfortunately, I can't put in that I know who made it, but all of the stones are intact. It's open in the back. You get lots of light through it. The table here I'm working off of is not the best background for this. I'll probably put it on something white or maybe even black and put some good light on it so you can see the color of those stones. But again, $2, folks. Super easy. And then lastly, I need to do a little research on this brand. I've seen it before, but I can't remember the value of it. This is such a cool piece. You have what appears to be the propeller of a plane, and then you've got wings in gold tone. I'm guessing this is for some sort of a pilot, possibly. It would be my guess. It's really kind of neat. On the back, if you look close, it says True Art Sterling. So this is a sterling silver brooch. Probably needs to be polished a little bit. I may polish it on at least the silver colored portion here just to get some of that tarnish, that yellowish tarnish off the side. But what a cool thing. I don't know if this would have been a gift for someone or if this was issued to pilots, but it's made of sterling silver. It's a cool little thing. $2 again. Was happy to find it.
Well, she's not having surgery till 2.
That is a print. Beal. Have to look up Beal. Got a bunch of Beal watercolors up here. A bunch of prints, not a lot of originals, unfortunately. Ooh, here's some batik. That's beautiful. Oh, I like that. Look at that batik. That's gorgeous. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, folks, because it's kind of obvious. Right here on the left, I paid $12. They knew that this was made of sterling silver. It's a sterling silver chain. It's marked as such. But then on the bottom, it has this interesting pendant with kind of what appears to be a citrine in there. Interesting little design. I think that this was probably a custom piece or by an independent jeweler, most likely. And it also says 925. I believe that says 925. What does that say? Yeah. It's poorly stamped, but it says 925 there. Sterling silver. I actually bought this. I can sell this pendant for what I paid for it, and I had another use for this this sterling silver chain because it's quite thin, and I've got another couple of beads I want to put on and to sell it that way. That's why I bought this one. Another one, here you go, sterling silver. It's a little bit heavier duty, a little bit more. It's got a different type of a look to it. This is also stamped $7. I can sell this for 10 or 15 bucks as is easily. And then this one was great, $5. It is a herringbone sterling silver necklace, and it's not in style as much these days, the herringbone style, but it is silver, and so someone will buy it. And if I can't get someone to buy it for the price I want, like this, then I'll just throw this in with a lot of other silver and try to sell it that way. Last up, folks, is the thing I was most excited about to find today. It is this bracelet. And actually, you would call it a bangle. That's what they call it. It is a fixed thing. It's not loose. It's rigid. And you can see it's got this green type of a stone all the way around it in the same fashion. It is hinged here. It connects here. Let me just show you how beautiful this thing is. Okay. So it's got a button here, and it's got another piece. So you clip that off the bottom here. You see that? Then you press in the middle, and then it slides out. It opens, and you can get your wrist in it that way. I looked at this at first. There was no marking here, no marking up here. I looked around the edge on the inside, didn't see anything. But I was convinced that this thing was made of sterling silver. I just knew it. So then I did a deeper dive, looked on the inside. And sometimes you got to spend a little time to look, because these makers, sometimes they hide these marks. Sometimes they aren't marked, and that can be even harder. But sometimes they hide them. And so in this case, if you look down here and underneath the hinge here by the green portion, and I pull this up, you can see now it says 925 stamped right on the inside there. 9, 2, and 5. So this is sterling silver, folks. And what we got here is some sort of a green stone. I don't know if this is a jade stone. It is not an emerald. It may be some other type of stone, but it also has something called marcasite. And that is what this little metal, my camera's still having trouble zooming in on this for some reason. Okay, so you can see, do you see how that shines, those little points? Let me try to pull this up here so you can see what I'm talking about. So these little pieces right there that's shining, looks like a cone sticking up almost, all along here. That's called marcasite. It's basically, it's a mineral. It's otherwise known as, it's kind of like a white pyrite, but it's iron sulfide. For those of you who are into the periodic table, it's FeS2. Yeah, that's how it all sticks together. But basically, this type of mineral has been used in jewelry for since the Egyptian times. Honestly, it has had resurgences in popularity. In 1861, Prince Albert passed away, and Queen Victoria did not want to, as the story goes, she was going to be in mourning, and so found it inappropriate to wear flashy jewelry like diamonds and things like that. But she was a queen, and she still needed to go out and, and kind of keep up the appearances. And so she started to wear heavily marcasite jewelry because it was a darker color, but it still had a shine to it. And that, a lot of what was popular in fashion and jewelry and things, those trends were set by the monarchs or those in power and those in control. And so at that time was no different. And so there was a resurgence in marcasite. So in the early to mid 1860s, all the way up until about the 19-teens and 1920s even, you can find quite a bit of marcasite bejeweled jewelry. And so this is no different. My guess is that this is a very, very late 1800s, possibly like a 1900, 1910 bracelet. Gorgeous. And I paid $2 for it, folks. This I am confident I could sell for $100 tomorrow. I might even put it up even higher than that, really spend some time on the listing itself. Bring a lot of attention to it, and I could maybe even do better. Was really happy to find that, folks. Good luck and happy hunting. Always bring a loop. Always take your time. Investigate. Hey guys, it's Rusty again. What did you think? I'm backing out here, folks, because I got to head on back to the warehouse. I got to get this inventory that I bought today back and, get her all cleaned up, photographed, listed. I hope you enjoyed this, guys. I'm going to drop this video today, and then I'm coming back tomorrow to try to buy stuff. I saw a few things I think I might want. I think would resell real well. But what do you think? Is there anything you saw in there that you think, Rusty, you better get that, Rusty? Well, let me know, because if you don't let me know by tomorrow morning, I might not get it. So please leave me a comment, let me know. happy hunting. And if you find stuff like the things I showed you today that I grabbed, grab them if they're reasonably priced. Take care, cousins. Rusty, how do? Rusty, 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 how